a retelling of the crucifixion of Christ through the eyes of those who watched. They said the sun shouldn't have set that early, but on that day the light dimmed before noon, and even the birds went silent. In the hill outside Jerusalem, known as Golgotha, the place of the skull, 3 crosses stood like black scars against the pale sky. The middle one carried a man whose name would echo through eternity, Jesus of Nazareth. He had been condemned by Rome, betrayed by one of his own, and abandoned by the very people who once cheered his name. The charge above his head read, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. But the soldiers didn't see a king. They saw a threat. They drove nails through his wrists and ankles, the sound of hammer against iron cutting through the cries of the crowd. Blood mixed with dust. And yet from his lips came no curse, no hatred, only the trembling words, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Among the crowd stood a Roman centurion named Cassius. He had overseen hundreds of executions. To him, this was just another rebel, another death. But something about this man unsettled him. Not fear, but pity. As hours passed, the sky turned darker, colder. Thunder rolled over the horizon, though no storm clouds were seen. The priests whispered that it was a sign, that heaven itself refused to watch. And then from the cross came a cry that silenced even the soldiers. My God, why have you forsaken me? The ground trembled. The wind roared. Cassius stumbled back, his heart pounding. He'd never heard a man speak like that, as if calling out not to the earth, but to eternity itself. At the foot of the cross, a woman knelt, Mary, his mother. Her hands were covered in tears and dust. She did not scream. She did not move. Only whispered prayers between sobs, like a mother trying to comfort the world itself. When the end came, it was not with rage or pain. It was peace. He raised his head one last time and said, It is finished. And then, silence. The earth split open. Stones cracked. The temple curtain in Jerusalem, the one that separated man from the Holy of Holies, tore from top to bottom. The priests gasped. Cassius fell to his knees, whispering, Surely this was the Son of God. That night, the storm finally came. Rain washed over the crosses as if the heavens themselves wept. The soldiers left. The crowd dispersed. Only a few remained. Mary, John, and a man named Joseph of Arimathea, who quietly asked Pilate for the body. They wrapped him in linen, laid him in a borrowed tomb, and sealed it with a stone. And as the rain faded, the city of Jerusalem slept, not knowing that the silence of that night was not the end, but the beginning. Because 3 days later, at dawn, the stone would roll away, and the one who had been crucified would walk again, leaving behind not death, but a whisper that still lingers through centuries. I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me shall never die. Even now, when the wind moves through the old olive trees near Golgotha, some say they hear a faint echo, the sound of a heartbeat, steady and eternal. And in that moment, for those who still believe, the world feels quiet again, as it did on the day the sky went silent.